So, the Switch 2 announcement is here, and it was great. I loved watching it live over on That Game Place with the whole crew present. Very excited about the new console and maybe all the games that are coming with it. Except for one thing I'm not so excited about. And it's not the price of the Switch 2. I understand the hardware is going to be slightly more expensive. That's not it. It's the price of games, which came as a stunning shock and a frustrating indication that we're headed for an enormous price tag for software in the future. Let's talk about it. Here we go. So with the same kind of youth, I was inspired and excited to cover the Switch 2. It's a new console, something that is portable, but also something that can do some things that other Nintendos couldn't do, like upscaling, like 4K, like multiple frame rate increases, such as 120 frames per second. I was excited because, well, the new dock and the new console itself would give us a new experience, or several. It comes with a camera attachment, which you have to buy separately. It has the ability to increase the way that you communicate to just your group of people or to many others. It's kind of like streaming localized, but with a twist, and I think that's all great. The Switch itself is exciting, but Nintendo bummed me out. And they didn't even do it during the course of the stream, which was riddled with a few technical difficulties, but it wasn't without one big disappointment: a price spike. You see, Mario Kart World was impressive, and according to Marvin over at That Park Place, the Mario Kart World shocks fans with an $80 price tag. $10 more to make sure you always have it? That's not a good deal. Nintendo is pushing premium game pricing further for the Nintendo Switch 2, but at the same time, it's following what the industry wants to do, which is overcharge for games and software, because the value you're getting from games is no greater than it was 2 decades ago. The quality of the graphics, and especially in the AAA space, hasn't improved very much, other than to offer the ability to do it with more frames. Other than that, there hasn't been a lot. In fact, if anything, they've gone backwards with how they portray human facial structures, their ability to speak, and the ever-present "my face is tired" game problems. And that's industry-wide. And whenever they change or homogenize to a different game engine, which everybody's headed to Unreal right now, you would think you would get massive improvements. But you're not. You're getting massive steps backwards when it comes to the aesthetics of actual game characters, especially the NPCs. But let's set all that aside. Graphics may not matter to everybody, outside of myself and some purists. But when you look at the cost of games, what are you getting? A lot of rehash. Kind of like another entertainment industry stalwart, film. The Mario Kart price raised more than a few eyebrows today, as it brought Nintendo and gaming itself into uncharted territory the industry wants to hit, like $100 a game. During today's Nintendo Direct, fans got more details on the upcoming Switch 2. And while the June 5 launch date and new features drew attention, the real shocker came from one of Nintendo's most beloved franchises, Mario Kart. Mario Kart World, the headline launch title for the new system, will cost $79.99. That's $80. And if you're going to purchase that separately from the console, that's a new high watermark for a game that is a first-party title and the only really interesting launch title to come out of this particular system. So premium pricing is creeping higher, and that's the plan. Until now, Nintendo had largely held the line at $59.99 for most of its first-party titles, with only The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom stopping over that mark at $69.99 in 2023. Well, it was understandable. It was a massive title with a lot of anticipation, and the opportunity to price gouge was there. That means two of Nintendo's most family-friendly, traditionally accessible franchises are launching at premium tier prices. Maybe that's going to become a turnoff. This move, according to Marvin, especially given the Mario Kart has historically been the system seller designed to appeal to all ages, at nearly $80, parents and longtime fans might find that cost harder to justify. even with the game's new open world and online features. In fact, some of those features I would say are going to be a problem. There is a way around this, of course, if you're willing to bundle and get digital only. For those who are looking to offset the cost, there's at least a modest silver lining. Nintendo is offering a $499.99 bundle that includes the base Switch 2 system, which is normally $449.99 alone, and a copy of Mario Kart World, essentially giving buyers a $30 discount versus buying both separately. Except one thing, it's a digital copy, so it's not really a copy at all. But I want to talk about the shift in philosophy for overall gaming. Nintendo's not going to be alone here, and when they start to push these games out more and more into the mainstream space, they're going to try to push the price point as well. What's notable, it isn't just the number here, as Marvin points out correctly, it's what it may signal. If Mario Kart is now worth $80 in Nintendo's eyes, then no franchise is off limits for premium pricing. Gone are the days when a $59.99 was the ceiling for Nintendo's biggest hits. The Switch 2 era may be ushering in a new standard where $70 is the norm and $80 is reserved for tentpole games. Again, trying to push these titles up and beyond that $90 price point is the goal for the games industry as a whole. Which, of course, that leaves us with a question, and a big one, especially with Rockstar out there getting ready to launch its new GTA 6 title. Will PlayStation follow Nintendo's lead? Well, probably, and maybe beyond. Nintendo isn't operating in a vacuum, Marvin says, and the rest of the gaming industry is undoubtedly watching the shift very closely. Sony already nudged prices higher in 2020, making me a little grumpy with a $69.99 price point entry, and Microsoft has followed suit for some of its titles, but to be fair, Microsoft doesn't have much that looks like it's going to be desirable for a while. Now that Nintendo, the company most associated with broad appeal and family gaming, is normalizing $70 or even $80, it could open the door for Sony to push premium editions even farther. If Mario Kart can sell at $79.99, what's stopping PlayStation from pricing its next major exclusive at $80 or $90 with expanded content included? Which we all know is content that would have been included regardless. They just were going to try to push it as DLC in its own way. In short, Nintendo's pricing may be more than just bold. It might be a signal flare from where the entire industry is headed, which I've been talking about a while over on That Game Place, the gaming channel that's associated with here and That Park Place. Go check it out. And if that's the case, then $59.99 may soon feel like a relic of the past, and I'm going to tell you it's already times gone by, and that's a bad thing. Ultimately, what Nintendo decides to do as far as pricing is kind of a bellwether for where the industry is going. We are going to see more price increases in games, and they will offer you the same or less value. This is going to be a big problem, even with big titles like Rockstar's GTA 6, which is just around the corner. And if they're going to try to charge $100 per game, it better be a finished one, or there's going to be a lot to complain about. Anyway, that's it for me. It's now time for you. That's right, audience or participation time. So check down in the comments section below. Let me know what you think. Are you prepared to pay $70, $80, $90 per game, $100 per game? Is that something that you think is reasonable? Do you think you're going to get that kind of value for that money? Or are you thinking, hey, Culture, lighten up. $100 isn't that much for a game. It's going to give you hours of entertainment. Well, I honestly hope that's true, but I doubt it. If you have any other thoughts on the story, let me know. Obviously, I've tried to get back to all of you as soon as I can. I'm trying to answer all the comments that I can over the first couple days of the video, so be one of the first. And as always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya for real.